Hi guys, today we are going to be graphing linear equations using intercepts. Graphing linear equations using intercepts. Okay, so first let's talk about intercepts. So the X-intercept it's where the line crosses the x-axis. And since it's on the x-axis, we know that y is always 0. And so our x-intercept always has something here for x, but then the y is always 0. So for a y-intercept, the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. And since it's on the y-axis, we know that x is always 0. So it's the opposite. If it's the y-intercept, x is 0. If it's the x-intercept, y is 0. And so x is always 0. And so that is what your y-intercept is always going to look like. Okay, so to find the x-intercept, you're going to plug in 0 for y, right? We know that y is always 0, so we're going to plug that in. So let's use the equation 2x plus 3y equals 6. So we have 2x plus 3y equals 6. So we have to plug in 0 for y, since we're trying to find the x-intercept. So 2x plus 3, but we know that y is going to be 0 since it's the x-intercept equals 6, and then we'll solve for x. So 2x plus 3 times 0, well 3 times 0 is just 0. So we have 2x equals 6, so we divide both sides by 2, and x equals 6 divided by 2, which is 3. And so our x-intercept is 3, 0. And so to find the y-intercept, we need 2 points to graph a line. So to find the y-intercept, we're going to plug in 0 for x. So we have 2x plus 3y equals 6, the same equation, only this time we are going to be plugging in 0 for x. So 2, but we know that x is 0 since it's the y-intercept, plus 3y equals 6. 2 times 0 we know is 0, so it's just 3y equals 6. we divide both sides by 3 because we're solving for x, we're solving for y, and y equals 6 divided by 3, which is 2. And so we write our point. Remember, x was 0. So when we write our point, we write 0, and then our y value, which was 2. And so now we have 2 points that we can graph. So now we are going to graph the points. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, you'll have your graphs on your assignments. You just have to sketch it on your notes. So our x-intercept was 3, 0. So we go where x is 3 and y is 0. And then our y-intercept was 0, 2. It crossed right there. Let me give you a second since you couldn't see this. So we drew our graph and then we plotted the points. So our first point was 3, 0. So we go on the x-axis to 3 and y was 0. So it's right there, 3, 0, and then 0, 2. And then we have our 2 points we need for our line. So we just connect those points and we have the graph of 2x plus 3y equals 6. Okay, let's go ahead and look at your assignment. So x minus y equals -2. So we need to find the x-intercept. So we know that y is 0. So we have x minus, we know that y is 0, equals -2. And so the 0 just goes away, and so we know that x equals -2. And then the y-intercept, we know that x is 0. So we're going to put in 0 for x. So we have 0 minus y equals -2. And so we can just cross off the 0, and we have -y equals -2. So remember, there is a 1 right there. You can write that if that helps you. And so we're going to need to divide both sides by -1. And we're left with y equals -2 divided by -1, which is +2. And so the x-intercept is at -2. So go to the x-axis to -2. And then the y-intercept was +2. So go to the y-axis, plot our point at +2. And we have the graph of our line. Okay, please show your work and go ahead and complete your assignment.